So I've been trying to keep my YouTube channel going and everything, and I just don't know where to begin sometimes. I see other videos of people who, you know, suffer from depression and all other things like that, and they do videos about them, and I even did a video about it. But I had to use pictures and just put text because it's hard for me sometimes to do anything, and I'm trying to figure out creative ways of still getting this stuff out. And sometimes I have to realize it doesn't always have to be creative. There are plenty of people who are struggling, and just getting it out there that one more person is struggling might help other people, and I can't just not do anything. And it's just, I don't even know where to begin. But one thing I've noticed lately is a lot of people get worse based on what other people say to them in reactions to what they're going through. And one thing I've learned is forcing clarification on what people say. So some people say to me, well, the past is the past, you know, you can just move forward now. And it's like, I used to have that attitude too. I didn't say it to other people, but I had the attitude of, oh, you know, you'll get out of this situation and you can just move on. I've said that to myself a few times, and a few times ended up with PTSD layered on top of PTSD till it was CPTSD. And you know, some people can get out of a situation and be pretty, you know, move on pretty well, it seems, and some people can't. And it's not a matter of weakness at all. And more people need to realize that. And people who do get over things easily don't need to assume that everyone thinks and reacts the way that they do, because that's a very dangerous thing for people to think that, well, I do this and I feel this way, so there's no reason for anyone else to feel and think and do things anything differently. People need to realize that not everyone's the same. But also, one of the major things I've learned is that the more benefit of a doubt I give people for the things that they say to me, the better it is for everyone. Like for instance, the whole, oh, you know, past is past, whatever. When I've confronted those people and said, that really bothers me when you say that, I feel like you're brushing off my issues, they will often say, no, I'm just so stressed out and I don't want you to be stressed out, and I just said something quick to try to just make you feel better. Whereas other people will just get mad at what people say and go on rants about it and almost blame those people for feeling worse. And yes, words do absolutely hurt, and I hate when people say that they don't. And you know, oh, it's only as bad as you let yourself react. Well, there is something to that. Yes, you can choose to try to not care. You can choose to try to give them a benefit of a doubt. But sometimes things just hit you, and you really have to fight hard to not feel the way you're feeling. But you're going to have initial reaction no matter how zen you try to be. You have gut instincts, and, you know, it's hard sometimes to work through that. But I find that if you just try to give people a benefit of a doubt, like a lot of times people are struggling, will look at people they don't think struggle, and then they wonder why they're not helping them. And what I've really figured out is almost everyone is struggling. Probably everyone to some degree. I've had some people say to me, well, I've never been depressed, so I don't know what to say to you. And I found that utterly shocking. I thought everyone at some point in their life suffered from depression from something, but apparently not. But I don't know if I believe it. I think they're in denial. I don't know. But again, you can't just assume. But, you know, it's just, if you, you know, it's like, there was a guy who kept saying to me all the time, none of my friends are there for me, blah, blah, blah. And I had said flat out, I barely knew him. He had been to some of my shows, and I said, that's fine. You know, you can message me if you want. And he started messaging me, but he would message me with things like, you know, as soon as I woke up, I got text that said, oh, I wished I didn't wake up last night. Now, no one can handle that. No one can handle that. And I feel like we all do give too much sometimes when we talk about stuff. We all, you know, we'll give too much information, and it's overwhelming to people. And you have to find a balance of I need to ask for help, but I don't want to cause a problem in this person's own head. Because it's like when you're suffering, you forget other people are suffering sometimes and may not be able to handle what you're doing, but it's not their fault. And they're not trying to be a jerk, but they can't handle it because they have something going on, you know? So, or alternatively, they have nothing going on and they can't comprehend how bad you're trying to say it is. But it just convolutes everything when you add in what other people say and do and blame them in a way for not doing enough, not saying the right thing. We need to be more forgiving of people around us that aren't reacting correctly. Because the one thing I've learned is there's been so many times in my life where there was no one there for me. And sometimes there actually was, but you know how sometimes you get so bad you forget other people exist or care? You just don't think anyone does, and it's like you feel totally alone and you can't break out of it. So the amount of times I've had to pull myself out of situations, I've been grateful that I've learned how to do that. But I keep getting worse, and I'm not always sure I'm going to be able to pull myself out of it. I always have in the past. I always have. So I have to keep reminding myself that, but it does keep getting worse. And I'm dealing with a lot of people not knowing what to say and do, and fortunately a lot of people knowing what to say and do, which is very fortunate for me, but I have not always had that in the past. And it just really, really reminds me of how you gotta realize that other people are struggling too, and not always be so hard on them for not doing what you need. And it sucks, but it's just, you know, everybody's got something going on. Yeah, I guess that's it.